We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Productive Pastor Handbook webinar with Church Mag. I am your host, Casey Proctor. I'll be joined in just a moment by our illustrious guest, Jonathan. Here we go. Jonathan. Where are you, my friend? All right. All right. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for dialing in today. We are really excited to bring this to you. We were really stoked to partner with Jonathan on the book, The Productive Pastor, and it's just really a great opportunity we have to help equip pastors and ministry leaders and cubicle warriors everywhere with tips and tricks to get more of the right stuff done, because productivity isn't getting everything done, it's getting the right stuff done, it's getting the more important things done. And pastors are uniquely positioned to be in ministry and to do really unique work. They have an administrative function to their job, and they have to answer emails and manage projects and attend meetings and all that kind of type of stuff, and some standard leadership and managerial duties. But along with that, um, they also have a really heavy focus and passion on people and helping people with their needs and all that. Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue with getting Jonathan on here. So give me just a moment while I invite him again. All right, let's get him on here. All right. So let's see here. Get him on. Let's get his video going. Okay. So today what we're going to do, I'm just going to kind of run through a bit of our agenda while we wait for Jonathan to pop on this morning, or this afternoon rather. I'm on the West Coast, so it is 11 a.m. It is pre-lunchtime, while the rest of you might be already struggling a little bit with that post-lunch food coma. Jonathan. 2 viewers. We got 2 of you on here. Awesome. So cool. If you will bear with me. All right. If you're watching, go ahead and let me know a question. What is a area of productivity that you are struggling with, or a question that you have? Go ahead and leave a message in the group chat of the Hangout here, and we will get to your question. If we don't answer it right away, that's fine. We want to make sure that we are able to get to your questions, because we want to answer what's important to you. Okay, let's see here. Control room. Here I am. Oh no, we only have 1 viewer. Where'd you go? I saw you leave. All right. But that's just within the app. If you are watching on Church Mag directly, thank you so much for doing that. Really appreciate it. If you go to churchmagpress.com/productive pastor, you'll see all the details about the Productive Pastor book. I see here. I am so sorry, folks. We are going to go ahead and jump into our content here, and we will just roll with it and wait for Jonathan to join us. All right, so like I mentioned, this is the Productive Pastor Handbook webinar. It is about 2:05, so we're going to go ahead and get rolling, because we want to make sure that we respect your time and get you going on about your day as we go through this content. So what we're going to be covering today is a bit about the book and where it came from. I touched on that a little bit already. Managing email, project management, and then some quick social media tips, some general Q&A. And then talk about a special that we've got. We're going to be giving away some copies of the book, as well as a copy of Jonathan's other book next up. Right. Sorry, I'm communicating with Jonathan in the side here, trying to get him in because for whatever reason, I don't have the ability. He is not able to join as a presenter and have a conversation with us. It pops in and then he pops back out. So sorry about that. All right. We got on early to try to get this ironed out, and for whatever reason, this is all cockamamie. This is frustrating. Are there any questions about productivity? Ask your question, and it shall appear. No questions. Come on. Questions. I want some questions. I know you have questions. I have questions. All right. Hold on here. I'm actually using Google to ask how to add a presenter to a Google Hangout on air. I am so sorry, folks. We thought we had this ironed out ahead of time. Multiple presenters. All right. Head and shoulders icon in the app. Invite people. Cameraman. Capture. Showcase. Screen share. I am so sorry, folks. We're really getting a roll on here. Oh. Can you turn that off? All right. I have added Jonathan. Hopefully this sticks. We have 5 of you on. Thank you so much for being patient. Really appreciate it. We are going to do a special discount for those of you who have hung with us for the coaching program that Jonathan is offering. Obviously, we won't be offering coaching on Google Hangouts, but I'll do a follow-up post on what not to do when hosting a webinar. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. All right. I am going to stop the broadcast, but please, please, please stay with us because I'm going to reopen it, and hopefully that will allow me to get Jonathan back in here. Control room. All right. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to relaunch it. So please, please, please stay with us. We will be right back. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that because it'll be broken. Links. All right. I'm going to settings, built-in, default, false. This is ridiculous. It should be so easy. Our issue is that Jonathan is not seeing the notifications to pop in. He is viewing it. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? But he is, for whatever reason, not able to pop on there. So, all right, you know what? I'm going to try and wing this. We will redo this with Jonathan in the future. Really appreciate your time and want to be respectful of that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little screen share thing, and we are going to get started. All right. So present everyone. All right. So what you should see now is our awesome Productive Pastor Handbook. This is the webinar, theproductivepastor.com. All right. So I'm Casey Proctor. You can find me on Twitter at Casey Proctor, and our awesome author, Jonathan Pearson, at Jonathan Pearson on Twitter. Productivity is the art of efficiently organizing and getting done what's most important. And that's really what's at the crux of the Productive Pastor Handbook. It is giving pastors the tools and the strategies to get the administrative stuff done that is of utmost importance so that they can focus more on the tangible aspects of ministry in meeting with people and having coffee, counseling, and preaching, and those really tangible, hands-on, face-to-face aspects of ministry that sometimes get pushed to the side because of those administrative factors. When it comes to managing email, that is everybody's biggest hurdle when it comes to trying to manage that inbox. I know people with thousands and thousands of emails sitting in their inbox, and I don't know how they get anything done. They constantly look busy, but they rarely feel or seem actually productive because they are drowning in that email. And so what this book does is it helps provide some strategies around managing email and being able to help you approach email differently in such a way that it is not a foe, but rather it is a friend, and it helps you get those things done and to delegate and to take action. And so you end the day feeling accomplished, not because you did a lot of busy work, but that you did a lot of impactful and valuable work. When it comes to that managing email, on the back end, regardless of what tool you might use, it really comes down to your workflow and how you're using it. Whether you use Gmail or Outlook or the Mail app on Mac, it really comes down to how you interact and use email. Email is a communication channel. It is not a task app. And in the book, one of the things Jonathan talks about is if you open your email and you don't have inbox zero, anything in there you're having to view again. So if you open an email and you don't do anything with it, if you don't create a task, if you don't forward it to somebody to delegate, if you don't, tag it to follow up, in a week for some kind of issue, or add it to your prayer list or something, then every time you open email, that having to see that email that you're not taking action on will take up headspace and mental capacity and take up your time. And if you multiply that by hundreds or thousands of emails, you're wasting valuable mental energy and time not actually accomplishing anything. So there are some nifty tools out there. There's apps, there's apps for everything. And so one that I use personally that really comes in handy with this is called Mailbox. And it's one that Jonathan recommends as well. And what it allows you to do is, you take an email, and if you can take action on it, you do so, you reply, you send it to archive, it's gone. If it's something you want to follow up with at a later date, say, it's a reminder to pay your electrical bill, and you can't do it at that moment, but you want to do it tonight with your other bills. You can tag it to snooze to later that night. Or if you send an email out to your team and you want to follow up on some action items, so you can actually tag it to snooze to later in the week so that you can send a follow-up to them. And so it really creates an email environment that's dynamic and interactive. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment on this because I want to see if we have any comments or questions. If you're seeing my screen, if you're seeing everything I see, sorry about that. All right, we don't have questions. Oh, okay, got it. We're not seeing anything view or screenshots. Black screen, not seeing anything on the screen. Keep trying, we're still watching. Felton Bible Church, blank screen. What are the most important tools to have from Zach? Okay, in comments, are you seeing anything? Do you see anything now? No video, not seeing anything, blank screen. There's I'm talking. All right, here's what I'll do. I will blow this up. Where's my zoom? There we go, 100%. No, not that far. How about 75? 50. Let's take that off. There we go. There, that looks better. How about that? Not seeing anything. Okay, keep trying. We're still watching. Felton Bible Church, you all are awesome. Thank you so much for chiming in. Obviously, we'll need to redo this in the future, but I still want to go through the content because it's really valuable, and want to be, honor the people who have stayed on. Most important tools to have, you've got to have it: email, calendar, task management, notes, and reminders. That is the book in 10 words, and Jonathan really dives deeper into how to use those. Black screen, okay. I am seeing your screen better. Awesome, great, thank you, Felton Bible Church. Sweetness. All right, cool. So we're gonna go with that then. All right, so yeah, back to that managing email. There's apps. Use what you like. Nothing is going to be across all of this stuff in productivity, theories and approaches and tactical type stuff. There's no silver bullet. You need to use what works for you. If you use an app or you use an approach and it is really frustrating for you, either ask for help to get over that hurdle, because there's a learning curve with everything. But if it just doesn't click, or you don't like it, or for whatever reason, ditch it. Get a different one. Try something else. The caution or caveat to that would be, don't go app crazy. Give something a chance. If you get a new app, try it for 2 or 3 weeks. Really give it a fighting chance. If it doesn't work, that's fine. Try something else. But don't always be, adding a new, starting a new, task management app or starting a new email app, because there's a learning curve, and there's, kind of an overhead of time investment on the front end to get everything transitioned. And if you're constantly transitioning from app to app, you might feel busy and like you're getting a lot of stuff done, but you're not actually accomplishing anything. You're just moving your to-do list from one place to another. You're just moving emails from one place to another instead of actually responding to those emails and checking things off of that to-do list. So again, use what works for you, use what you like, but pick one and stick with it. All right, moving on into project management. This one is a passion for me. I have an MBA from Arizona State University, and project management isn't a skill that's often championed in the church necessarily. It's like, hey, we have to pull off this event. We have to make church happen every weekend, and often it seems that it's not really approached with any project management discipline or tools. And so, in considering project management and the implications for ministry and productivity, um, you're when you're starting off on a new project, you're going to want to organize. You would want to stay organized. You need to identify who the key players are, who owns decisions, and make sure that you have the right tools at your disposal. A carpenter or a craftsman is only as good as the tools they have. They might be extremely skilled, but if all they have is a hammer and a nail, they're not going to get a lot of work done. Or one chisel. A sculptor is not going to create a masterpiece with one chisel and one hammer. They have a lot of different tools that are right for the job. So when it comes to project management, there's a couple that we recommend. Jonathan has used Things, Wunderlist, Todoist. I've used Wunderlist and Todoist. I prefer Todoist. That's what I'm deep into using right now. I use that in conjunction with a calendar app called Sunrise, and then also Evernote, which Jonathan is a huge fan of. We're both Evernote fanboys. And it really does a great job of keeping things organized and being able to track as you go. Another great tool that kind of sits in between email and project management from a team communication perspective is Slack. That's Slack, and I use that for 6 different kind of side hustles and teams that I'm a part of for communication and sharing files, and it integrates with everything. So that's a really great tool from a communication perspective for project management. All right. Jeremy, good to see you, man. Productivity is difficult for me on technology. If I use emails or notifications on my phone, I get too distracted. So my best solution has been Post-it notes. Suggestions, ways I can be more digital. My personal feedback for that would be to turn off notifications as much as possible, and to consider using a calendar app that integrates with whatever project management or task app you're using. I use Sunrise because that really helps me from a kind of a dashboard perspective, be okay, what's on my plate today? And that integrates with Evernote and Todoist and Wunderlist and Gmail and a ton of different apps to kind of pull it all together, to kind of see what's on your plate in a given day, and helps you prioritize and have that focused attack. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with going analog. There's nothing wrong. I love Post-it notes. I always feel somewhat powerful when I've got, a fresh, brand new Sharpie in hand, and a newly unwrapped stack of Post-it notes. I feel like I'm ready to take on the world. And so if that approach works for you, and I would say, an option would be to get different colors for different projects. So I know that you do a lot of writing for church mags. So if if your yellow Post-it notes are all blog post ideas, you get an idea, you jot it down, you put it on the pile. When you have time scheduled and set aside to write, all you do is you grab that stack, flip through, whichever one sticks for you, you sit down and you start cranking that out. Jonathan says, so sorry, everyone, we're productivity fans, not Google fans. Well, I'm a Google fan because we're using Google Hangouts, and I use Gmail and Google Calendar and all of that, but it is a little frustrating. Thank you again to everyone who's been patient with us. Jeremy, if you're really wanting to go digital, I think Evernote is a great way to kind of make that transition from Post-it note to a digital aspect. And I would just be really proactive in managing those notifications, and scheduling those buckets of time. I've started using Pomodoro, which is a kind of a time management. Oh, Zach, I'm so sorry you can't see screen right now. We will hook you up with something. But yeah, with being proactive with those notifications, and when you have that scheduled time set aside to focus on a certain bucket of tasks, like if you're writing, or like, all right, for the next half hour I'm going to answer emails, then you're focused in on that body of work. I'm a big proponent, and Jonathan would back me up on this, that multitasking is a myth. We do a lot of task switching, and I agree, those notifications are distracting, which is one reason why I actually do not want an Apple Watch, because I am distracted enough with my phone and pop-ups on my computer. I don't need my wrist going crazy with notifications. John Wilkerson, when you go full screen, we can't see anything. Okay, thank you. I have turned off full screen, so it's just the slides here. All right. Okay. All right, we're going to switch over to social media, which is near and dear to my heart. And I know Jonathan, Simple Note in iOS. Jonathan dropped something in the comments. He said that Simple Note and the iOS app Vesper are good for distraction-free note-taking. Those are somewhat streamlined versions of Evernote. There's another app Jonathan and I both use, as well as Jeff Goins, who is a friend of mine. It's called Drafts. It's on iOS. I'm not sure what other platforms it's on, but the brilliant thing is its simplicity. It opens up, the keyboard is launched, you have a blank screen, and the cursor is blinking, and all you have to do is start typing. And then you can shoot that and export it to email, to Evernote, to a tweet, to Facebook, to whatever note-taking app you'd like. And it has a lot of integrations that way. All right. We're going to go into project. Yeah. Sorry, Jonathan, I missed this slide here. So start, organize, and produce. Productivity SOP, or the standard operating procedures of project management, is to start, organize, and produce. Jonathan goes into this in detail in the book, and has a heavy emphasis on a bias for action. You just need to get started. Once you get started and you have some material, and a plan and some content to organize around, then you can pause and really kind of get things reorganized, define the scope, who has responsibility, and then it's really time to start getting things done. He used an example of doing some, I think, painting on his house and repairs, and the first time he just winged it and, didn't get much of anything done. The second time, he took the approach of getting started, organized, and then producing and getting things accomplished, and he was able to make much more progress, much to his wife's appreciation. Here's some other project management tools. Asana is really great. It's a really much more robust project management tool with scheduling and things like that. It integrates with Slack and Sunrise, which is the calendar app I mentioned, by the way. Social media. We've really moved beyond the point where the question, would Jesus be on Twitter, is even relevant anymore, because of course he would be. Jesus was present where people were. He met them where they were at. He was at the market. He was at the synagogue. He was walking down the road, and he engaged with people where they are. He didn't make them come to him. They did, when feeding of the 5,000 and things like that, but he was also present where they were. And so it's really important for the church and for pastors and ministry leaders to be present and to engage with people on social media, because it's a really powerful tool for spreading the gospel, inspiring folks, and ministering to people through the internet. It really breaks down those geographic barriers, and allows us to it really breaks down those geographic barriers and allows us to minister and spread the good news unhindered. There are limitations, like 140 characters and things like that in the Facebook algorithm, but it's still an important aspect. Some really great tools to make your social media, to maximize the time you spend on social media. Number one is Buffer. Not only is it a powerful and the design is really beautiful and just clean and minimalist, but they have the best customer service ever. I actually tweeted this the other day. I said, whenever I come upon a customer service situation, I always think to myself, what would Buffer do? What would Buffer do in this situation? Because they just have a super positive attitude. They're very, very helpful, problem solving, and they just make it right, and they're super responsive. And I think that if a church were to try and model their approach to engaging with their congregation and with their online following, Buffer would be a great example to follow. Some other great apps out there for scheduling are Hootsuite and Tweep. iOS apps are Twitterific, Tweetbot, the native Twitter app. If you're looking for how to create really cool shareable graphics, because in social media, you really want your content to, you can't just share a stream of verses. That is important, and scripture is powerful, but there needs to be some variety and there needs to be some engaging content. And so I like to say, and at Church Mag, we take the approach of the 4 I's. We want to inspire, we want to inform, we want to inspire, inspire, inform, interact, and inquire. And so we're asking questions, we're sharing inspirational content, we're sharing informative and educational content, we're asking those questions, and then having that engagement, we're interacting. And what those 4 I's do is those provide you influence. So when you go to make the ask, if all of your content is, hey, we need volunteers, serve, people are going to get tired of asking. But if you consistently provide them content that inspires them, gives them relevant information on their faith journey, if they ask a question, you're responsive, you're asking questions of them, you're really engaging, and you're laying a digital foundation for that relationship. When you make the ask of, hey, we've got, we're doing an oil change event for single moms. We need some people who have who are mechanics, and some people to help watch kids. You're going to get a much better response. For creating the shareable graphics, sorry, out of breath here. Canva, PicLab, Pablo. Pablo is a product made by Buffer. You can make a shareable graphic in 30 seconds, and it's the app. They created the app, and then they use it to create all of their header images on their blogs. Gravy is a new one that I'm not familiar with, and then Legend actually creates kind of a text GIF, if you will. Jeremy had a question. Productivity is less about apps I try to use and feeling my attention span shrink. Excuse me, as you say, task switching. I have to turn off Wi-Fi and 4G to be effective in the office. Of course, this causes concerns with possible emergencies, hence the notes. Gotcha. Yeah, I think, it really comes down to what works best for you. Figure that out, have the self-awareness of your limitations and, how easily you are distracted by certain things. For me, I do the same thing. When I'm at home, I'm trying to get some writing done, at night, or do work on some stuff for social media clients. And, if I've got multiple tabs open, I'm not getting any writing done. I'm checking Facebook, I'm checking Twitter. I'm like, oh, I need to buy that book on Amazon, yay for Prime 2-day delivery, or reading it on the Kindle app. Or, oh, hey, there's an email from somebody random who must be responded to right now. And before I know it, hours have passed, and I haven't written a single sentence for a blog post that's due in a few hours. So it really comes down to knowing to know thyself. All right. Okay. It feels like the questions are bumping around here. Okay. Questions. Answer question. Okay. All right. Before we get this wrapped up, I want to make sure if anyone has any questions that they get those, the opportunity to ask those. We will be doing a follow-up. We'll probably do a follow-up webinar, actually. And then anyone on the call, if you send me an email, KC, the letter KC at ChurchMag, so KC at CHURCHM.AG, or send me a direct message on Twitter. On Twitter, I'm at Casey Proctor, KC, PROCTER. I will get you I will give you a free copy of the Productive Pastor. I'll give you a special code for that. And you will get, we have a one-on-one coaching available with Jonathan. I believe we have 7, limited to 7 left. Right now, we're going to give you a code for those who have listened. If you use the promo code webinar, you will get 25% off that coaching. And that coaching includes, I'm going to open Evernote and tell you what it is. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, coaching details. So you will get 2 30-minute sessions, phone or Skype, and then email access for a month after your last session. So if it takes a month to get your 2 sessions in because of your schedule and what's available, then you still get email access to Jonathan for answer questions and follow-up coaching, after that. And then the topics that he'll cover will include personal workflow consultation, how to file and organize your most important tasks, um, strategies to manage interruptions, both good interruptions and bad. We know that, even not all interruptions are bad. You, as a pastor, you deal with all different types of things, from crises and prayer requests and people needing counseling to, you know, oh, I don't know. Um, because you are a ministry leader, so you know the type of stuff that you tackle on a daily basis. And some interruptions are good, and you need to know how to respond well to those. And then also further tips and strategies on achieving inbox zero on a daily basis. I don't know about you, but there have been often times where I will go to bed at night really late, exhausted, and I've worked from from sunrise to the moment my head hits the pillow, and I go to bed feeling overwhelmed because even though I was so busy, I know I didn't get all of the right stuff done. I know I can't do everything, but I want to do work that matters for people who matter to me. And so um, the principles that Jonathan goes through in the Productive Pastor Handbook really equip you with practical steps and guides so that when you go to bed at night, you can be rested and confident in the fact that you got the right stuff done. No, you didn't get everything done, but you got the right stuff done, that you were able to accomplish those important tasks. You've delegated things to people on your team or to others who are skilled in those areas, doing what they do best, so you can do what you do best. And you can feel rested. What would it be worth to you to feel rested and to not be stressed out all the time? This book, I think, will very much help you do that. If you want to check it out, if you haven't picked up the book already, it's only $6, and it is just tremendously valuable. I think that's a venti frappuccino, caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino at Starbucks if you pick that up. And so it's really worth it. And again, if you use the promo code webinar, you'll get 25% off. And yeah, we've got those one-on-one coaching opportunities limited to 7. That discount code ends today, so if you want to get 25% off, you need to use that now. Just go to theproductivepastor.com, and it'll take you straight to the website for that. Let's see if we have any. Bummer on the free ebook. I just bought my Kindle edition yesterday. Oh well. No, that's great. We need to support that. You still get hooked up with the 25% off. Not seeing anything. 25% off on the coaching. That gives you another copy of the book, and actually gives you all 3. So you'll get Kindle, iBook, and PDF. And then also we will throw in an exclusive toolbox resource that we're going to release next week, but we will give it to anyone who has dialed in and stuck with us through this process, of the bumps that we've gone through. So you'll get an exclusive toolbox resource straight from Jonathan that is fresh, and we will be releasing that next week. But you're going to get it either later today or tomorrow if you hit me up. So Zach said to mention my, let me see, I'm going to go ahead and open the chat. So if you go to the chat box, I'm going to put my contact information in there. So it's Casey at Churchmag. So Casey at CHURCHM.AG is my email, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I can type, I swear, at Casey Proctor. Casey and the Sunshine Band. Now you will never forget it. Yeah, if you hit me up, give me a follow, hit me up, say, hey, I was on the webinar, and I was one of the true fans of Church Mag and supporting Jonathan and the Productive Pastor. I want to get hooked up with that free, the free copy of the book. So it will take me a little time to create that discount code, but you can get a free copy. And you know what? If you already bought a copy, thank you so much. Share that code with someone else. I would bet big money that you know someone else who needs help with being productive, that they feel stressed or overwhelmed, that they have a lot on their plate, and that they just need help getting the right stuff done. And so if you can share that, I'll send you the code later today or tomorrow for that free download of just the book, and yeah, you can bless someone else with that. All right, I'm going to pop back over to the questions, see if we have any more. Thank you again all so much. You are awesome. Jonathan popped something in the questions. I don't know if everyone can see this or not, but thinking with you, bummer. Okay. Jonathan says you can email him at jonathan@jonathanpearson.net, and he'll send you that free productivity tool. So you can just email me, or I am going to drop his email in the chat. So if you open the chat, here you will see his email address, and you can hit him up. One way or the other, we will get you that free toolbox resource for Productive Pastor webinar participants. All right, I am going to, let's see, finishing up our questions here. John Wilkerson, thank you so much. He said, way to press through, Casey. Sometimes tech is not our friend. Definitely not our friend today. At least it worked some way. We were able to go through the content. We will go ahead and have a follow-up. Thank you all again so much for going through this with us and for sticking in there. I am super proud of Jonathan. He and I have been blogging bros for a while, and Twitter buddies. Haven't met in person just yet. I'm up in Seattle, Washington, and he is down in the great state of Texas. And so, we haven't got to do that yet, but I'm just really glad for his work and just for his heart. He wants to help pastors get the right stuff done, to feel that sense of achievement and accomplishment and less stress, and make more room for the ministry that they are so passionate about. Jeremy asked, where can people go to get to see all of Church Mag's books? So Jonathan's book, The Productive Pastor, is the 20th title that we have at Church Mag Press. So if you go to churchmagpress.com or churchmag.press, and I'll drop that in the chat box so you can go there. Group chat, to list of all of them. I will put the link in there, churchmag.press or churchmagpress.com. Both of those will get you to the same place. I want to provide them both just so that you are able to do that. Go back to our Q&A here. Make sure we got any. Thanks for working through the troubles. Next time you'll rock it. Thank you, Felton Bible Church. Really appreciate the encouragement. And thank you really for sticking with us. I know it was a bit frustrating, but we want to make sure that that we add value to your day. You took time out of your day to be here, so we want to provide that value back and respect it. Let's see here. Selecting question, currently answering, done. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap this up a few minutes early to be respectful of your time. Again, you go to theproductivepastor.com to check out the Productive Pastor Handbook. If you use the promo code webinar, you will get 25% off of the coaching program. There is only 7 slots left. And so if you want to get that one-on-one coaching with Jonathan to really dig deep into the principles of being productive in your ministry, go ahead and pick that up. That expires by the end of today. So make sure that you check that out if you're interested. And then also, just again, you can hit me up on Twitter at Casey Proctor or via email, casey@churchmag, to send me an email. Let me know that you were one of the faithful who stuck with us, and we will make sure you get that free copy of The Productive Pastor if you don't already have it, and a copy of the Toolbox resource. Thank you again so much. Yeah, happy Friday Eve, because it is Thursday. Have a blessed week. We really hope that the things that we talked about and that the handbook really helps you to be productive and get more of the right stuff done. Yeah. God bless. Godspeed. Go do great work.